Breaking the Czech Jinx, Alexandra Eala yet to defeat player from Czech Republic but has chance to smash bizarre trend in Qatar Open. Alexandra Eala has been one of the recent positive stories on the WTA Tour. Her rise has seen an influx of Filipino fans watching and cheering her every move while she continues to slowly creep up the rankings. While she has already done so much, there is just one thing missing: getting a win over a Czech Republic player. This bizarre task has never been completed by the 20-year-old, going back to her ITF days. She has already achieved so much in a very short career, breaking onto the scene in some style at the Miami Open, beating some of the world's best en route to a semi-final defeat to Jessica Pegula. She would reach a first WTA final at the Eastbourne Open but would lose out to Maya Joint via 4 match points. She eventually got over the line for a first WTA title in Guadalajara, which has seen her rise into the top 50 in the world at the end of 2025, and already in 2026 she has continued her momentum and has recently debuted inside the top 40. Eala looking to get over Czech Jinx. She is one of the many players who is currently in Doha ahead of the Qatar Open, with a glorious opportunity for more progress and ranking points to be added to her total. However, to do this she will have to break new ground. 9 times Eala has faced off against Czech Republic opponents, and the same result has occurred every time. It first started in 2022 on the ITF Tour when she lost out to Anastasia Zarica before a couple of years later the same result happened against Tereza Martinkova. Her first experience on the WTA Tour against a player from Czechia was against Marie Bouzkova in Guadalajara. She would come up on the wrong side of a 6-2, 6-2 result before a debut in the Wuhan Open ended to the hands of Katerina Siniakova. Still in China, this time in Jiangxi, Bouzkova again continued her fine form over Eala with a tight 7-5, 7-6, 4 triumph. Into 2025, and the pattern would continue. Linda Fruhvirtova was the next to capitalize on this in Birmingham with a 7-5, 6-7, 5, 6-1 win. Eala was a full flourish talent at this point, and was looking to make an impact at Wimbledon, playing on center court against the reigning champion Barbara Krejcikova. Despite taking the lead, she was unable to match the hype around her name, going down 3-6, 6-2, 6-1 in a debut Wimbledon campaign. Another former Wimbledon champion was her next opponent. Marketa Vondrousova mustered up an almost similar scoreline in the Canadian Open, winning 3-6, 6-1, 6-2. Fellow young talent Tereza Valentova got a much more convincing win en route to the Japan Open final, taking down Eala in the 3rd round with a 6-1, 6-2 victory. That is all 9 matches against Czech opponents that Eala has experiences. However, in Qatar she has a great chance to not just end this trend but to completely obliterate it. Valentova is first up to bat, with that defeat in Japan still fresh on the mind of the Filipina. Revenge would be sweet, and if she can produce this on February 9th, then the possible matchup against fellow Czech tennis player and former Roland Garros finalist Karolina Muchova could occur. There is a scenario where Eala could find herself in the 4th round with a trio of Czech victims. If former world number 1 Karolina Pliskova manages to make it past world number 4 Amanda Anisimova, then this scenario would emerge where Eala could face off against her. The first WTA 1000 event of the year will take place from February 7th to 15th in the Qatar capital. Breaking the Czech Jinx, Alexandra Eala's next great challenge in Qatar. In the world of professional sport there are stories of triumph, heartbreak, stubborn trends, and strange peculiarities that defy logic, quirks that become part of an athlete's legend. For Alexandra Eala, the rising Filipino tennis star who's become one of the most exciting figures on the WTA Tour, there's one such anomaly: she's never beaten a player from the Czech Republic. At the 2026 Qatar Open, Eala now has perhaps the best opportunity yet to shatter this bizarre trend, a self-imposed obstacle with a curious record, pressure, and narrative all its own. The rise of Alexandra Eala. Eala's rise has been one of the most compelling stories in women's tennis in recent years. At just 20 years old, the Filipina has already transcended expectations. From the ITF circuit in her teens to breaking into the upper reaches of the WTA rankings, her progress has been steady but dramatic: wins against top players, deep runs in premier events, and a sparkling athletic utility that blends grit, artistry, and gutsy shot-making. She finished the 2025 season with an impressive 40-26 record and climbed inside the top 50, and early in 2026 she debuted inside the top 40, a new personal best. Her huge breakthrough came in 2025, when she made headlines as the first Filipina to reach a WTA final, a milestone that captured the imagination of her home nation and tennis fans globally. Her run included monumental wins, fearless play, and moments that seemed to signal not just talent, but genuine star potential. Yet for all of this momentum, there's an odd Achilles heel, a Czech Jinx, that has never quite been explained. 9 encounters, 0 wins. A statistical curio. What makes this trend so intriguing is its consistency. Across 9 career matches against Czech opponents, spanning ITF events to WTA Tour main draws, Eala has never managed to claim a victory. From friendly rivalries in lower-tier events to high-pressure encounters on the biggest stages, the result has been the same, a loss. Here's a snapshot of the run. Anastasia Zurica, ITF Grand Canaria, 2022. Every match carried its own story, sometimes close, sometimes definitive, but the scorecard is unyielding. Whether it was established Grand Slam champions or emerging talents, Czech players have been a mental and tactical hurdle Eala hasn't conquered yet. That statistic, in a sport full of unpredictable narratives, has become a talking point among fans and pundits alike. The Qatar opportunity. Now comes the Qatar TotalEnergies Open in Doha, one of the season's first WTA 1000 events, and with it perhaps the biggest chance Eala has had to write a new chapter. Her first match in the tournament pits her once again against a Czech player, Tereza Valentova, the 18-year-old rising star who dominated their previous encounter at the Japan Women's Open, 6-1, 6-2. That recent loss lingers in the background like a challenge issued in tennis code, a reminder of unfinished business. But Qatar offers more than just a first-round rematch. Should Eala navigate past Valentova, the draw opens up with potential matchups against other Czech standouts, including former Roland Garros finalist Karolina Muchova. In a curious twist, the path through Doha could put Eala face-to-face with multiple Czech opponents in one event, an opportunity not just to overcome a personal trend but to utterly dismantle it. In the high-stakes, high-pressure world of WTA 1000 competition, that's exactly the sort of narrative tennis thrives on, and the one that could redefine Eala's story this season. A psychological game. Tennis is as much a mental battle as a physical one, and Eala's situation invites deeper reflection. Opponents from the Czech Republic haven't been monsters of the sport, not all of them at least, but the pattern of losses naturally builds a psychological weight. Where does that come from? Sometimes rivalries are born of personality clashes, stylistic mismatches, or sheer coincidence.